Here's a fly ball out towards center field. This one's going back, and this one is gone! Taylor gets this one out towards center field to the short porch, and it's a grand slam! It's a floater, out to short, and it's booted off the shortstop's glove! Just like they drew it from Hollywood. Caladros, the 3-2. Swing and a miss! And the Audubon Green Wave have upset the Kingsway Dragons! Grant Fournier, two-run shot to right. In Burlington County, we've got Friday night football between two undefeated powerhouses. It's the Burlington Township Falcons and the Delran Bears in one of the most consequential games we've seen on DWB in a long time. I'm Dan Wilkins, joined by Chase Parson on the call today. This is one of the biggest games we've done in a long, long time. The last time we were in these bleachers of Joseph Chinichi Stadium, it was 2023. Colin Huco was in his first year as a head coach, and the Bears were 4-7. They lost 57-19 to Willingboro. But today, they come in versus the Burlington Township Falcons, one of the only regular season loss Delran had last year, 31-0. And now Burlington Township comes into this one with a high-powered offense with the former Willingboro head coach, Stephen Everett.
Yeah, Dan, for two players that I want to look out for, we got Justin Mary Jr. of Delran. Dominant start to the season, 4 games. He has 16 receptions, 6 touchdowns. And for the other side of the football, Burlington Township, I'm looking at Gerald Sackey, the freshman, who has 9 touchdowns and 15 receptions in his first 4 games.
Well, Burlington Township is led by the youngsters. They've got Bryce Carter as the starting quarterback. However, he did not take a single snap versus Morristown last week. The freshman, Eddie McNair, took over. We weren't able to find out whether or not he's hurt or whether or not Carter is playing tonight. However, what we do know is that when we were looking behind us at the warm-ups, McNair was the one taking the snaps, and there was a different number 31 taking snaps behind under center for Burlington Township. So we don't know what the situation is. Will Carter play? Will McNair have to come in? Either way, one of these teams will leave 5-0 and the other will leave 4-1. One of the best program starts in a long time for all of these teams, and Burlington Township's not going anywhere. You were talking about the freshman, Gerald Sackey. If their starting quarterback, injury-free, is a junior, and their backup is a freshman, and he's doing well, put up a 50-burger versus Morristown last week. But let's talk about Delran as well. This is a team that has gone through the trenches in recent years. They were 1-9 3 years ago, 4-7 in Huco's first year, then 8-2, 7-1 in the regular season with playoff wins over Delaware Valley and a loss to Rumson Fairhaven. Delran's taking the field behind us, and then again, they've got Vinny Sacca. The Sacca family name runs in the Delran Brotherhood, just like the, almost just like the Carly Lloyd family name runs through Delran. This is going to be a great night. I'm Dan Wilkins again, Chase Parson on the call, Vincent Vogt on the production. We're from the top of the bleachers from the Delran Joseph Chinichi Stadium, and this is a game at the top of its game. We'll be right back.
Let's play Friday night football here from Delran. Two teams, 4-0. Delran, 3 straight shutouts. They haven't allowed a point at home this year. They haven't allowed a point since they were down at Rowan University to play Bridgeton to open up the year. And with that, they've only allowed 7 points the entire year, 34-7 over Bridgeton. And then blankings of 28, 35, and 31 respectively versus Ewing, Cinnaminson, and Northern Burlington. This is a rejuvenated team. This is a team with a heck of a lot of talent, and they're running into a team with also a lot of talent in Burlington Township. Only 29 points allowed for the Falcons this year. They've held their opponents to single digits in 3 of their first 4 games, allowing 14 versus Haddon Heights, but still having a steady 41-14 victory. Last week versus Morristown, they won 50-2, scoring 24 points in the second quarter. And 4 of those touchdowns came from Aiden Bin, who picked up 17 rushes and an astonishing 318 rushing yards in the win. Those are some R.J. Blunt numbers out of Pennsauken from last year. But either way, coin toss is up, and we will take a quick break as a fantastic national anthem by Morgan Jones will proceed to today's kickoff. We'll be right back. Delran and Burlington Township. Delran will kick this one away.
Burlington Township has a student section with them, and I hope that we can have home field advantage here, boys and girls.
Burlington Township getting a little jab from the Delran public address folks as a 6 p.m. kickoff. Kalina will get ready to kick for Delran in their home yellow jerseys. Burlington Township in the road whites. It is a little bit humid tonight in Delran. It's 79 at kickoff. By the time we're done tonight, it'll be overcast and 72 between 2 teams that are undefeated. And the team kicking away hasn't allowed a point since the month of August. We're underway at Joseph Chinichi Stadium. Friday night lights for big stakes. Returned at the 10-yard line. And a big hit up the middle. And he'll get tackled at around the 25. And now we'll see what this quarterback situation goes to offer for Burlington Township. Because if number 3 emerges from that pile, it's Bryce Carter, who did not appear in last week's game versus Morristown. But if it is number 14, it'll be Eddie McNair, the sophomore, who was pretty instrumental in that win against a winless Morristown. Last week, he had 2 rushes for 14 yards. And we'll see here, taking a look, that is number 14. There's Eddie McNair. We'll take a look at his QB profile. Again, a freshman, second career start, as opposed to the 2-year starter, Bryce Carter. 1st and 10 from the 31. They send a man in motion. McNair drops back. He's got a man over the middle. Look how far he's gone. House call right away. A silencer, and the Falcons have flown their way into the lead. 69-yard touchdown, Eddie McNair. 1 play, 1 score. How do you do? He found Julian Lattimore downfield for 70 yards, and 24 seconds in, we've got a score.
What an introduction by Eddie McNair. Nobody knew, including us, who was going to be the QB for Burlington Township. It was a little bit of a shock when he first came out. We tried looking for him, and all of a sudden he just pops the roof off.
That's crazy.
Well, that will give Delran some fire for their first drive as they give up a 70-yard touchdown, because knowing Colin Huco, he will not let that stand. McNair will go for 2. Handoff at the middle to Binns. That will be short by about 1.5 yards. How about this? We have a replay of that, Vince? Let's take a look at that. What a play, Eddie McNair. I don't even have to stop or cut this replay. Just look at this beauty. McNair dropping back, and he is gone by about 5 or 6 yards. Lattimore over the middle. And a 6-0 start for the Falcons. Absolute cinema here to start this Friday night action. And we'll get to see third-year head coach Colin Huco's action sooner rather than later with this kickoff. As again, with partly cloudy skies, it is a beautiful night to be here in Delran. Haven't been here for a game since October of 2023. We were here for a consolation game back when the NJSIAA still did those versus West Deptford, a game that the Bears won 28-20. Here we go. 11:36 on the clock. What a fast start. This will be returned on a short kick. And getting himself up to the 39 that time. I thought a penalty flag was down, but that's somebody's towel that came out. It was picked up by number 8, Anthony Yates. All right, Vinny Sacca, let's introduce him, the starting quarterback for Delran. 3-year starter for the Bears, and he's thrown for over 2,200 passing yards in his 3-year career, 6'1", 205, the nephew of Delran class of 88 grad Tony Sacca, which that's where the snack stand is named after. He was a 4-year player at Penn State, second-round draft pick by the Phoenix Cardinals, spent a year in the NFL in 1993. But for Sacca this year, 62% rate, 8 TDs, 2 interceptions, and has thrown multiple touchdowns in all but one game, a 35-0 win over Cinnamon 2 weeks ago. 1st and 10 from the 39, man in motion. Sacca will keep it himself, and he'll get about 3 yards up to the 42. Jack Jordan, the multi-sport athlete, was the man in motion. Jordan, the 6', 185-pound linebacker and wide receiver, also a basketball and baseball athlete. I mean, last night we were at Bishop Eustis versus Buna, at Buna, and one of the things that we talked about in that game was Group 1 football, where players on this team are usually multi-sport athletes who play multiple positions. They're just pure athletes. Well, Group 2 is only one step above that, and Delran's not a massive high school either. They're kind of on the lower end of Group 2, and you're going to see a lot of multi-sport athletes getting their chops here in Week 4. They got 4 yards on the carry by Sacca. Now the handoff. No, it will be Sacca on play action. He incomplete that time. Intended for Yates. Got chased out of town by number 9, Jordan Wimberly. But how about an impression from McNair? I think what was, kind of recessed in my mind was if McNair is a starting quarterback as a freshman, his second start versus a fierce Delran team, I didn't know how this game was going to start. I thought maybe Delran might get an early edge, but right now, Burlington Township's got the edge. Their defense is holding up, and they put a statement, an exclamation point on the board on just their first play. It's at least the 3rd or 4th time this year we've seen that. House call on the first play. Saw it on opening night with R.J. Pierce of Cumberland. A high leg kick sends Jordan in motion to the left. Good snap read. Now Sacca drops back. Offensive line collapses. It's Wimberly again. He will throw it away onto the Falcons sideline, and it'll be 3 and out for the Bears. That's a big drive for the Falcons defense. Jordan Wimberly didn't pick up any sacks that time, but he was the X factor in getting Sacca uncomfortable in that offensive line. Found a gap, had some really good snap reads, and was able to make some very good plays, especially on that last one where he forced Sacca to throw it away. From what it appears, thought they would keep the offense on the field. That kind of tricked me a little bit. Looks like a tight punt, though. They will send number 12, David Rayford, out, and it's Sacca who's punting. He's got it! A fake punt! Oh, my goodness!
Jack Jordan, he fooled us all. Vinny Sacca with a fake punt for a first down.
You saw the man in motion coming from left to right. You got to assume something was going on there if you're paying attention, but it looks like they weren't, and that cost them a turnover.
I couldn't even see the punter's number, and we have seen teams before who will utilize their starting quarterback as their punter. I mean, Buna last night used an offensive lineman as their punter. So, you know, punters and place kickers, they can kind of be whoever you can find in a locker room, and Vinny Sacca comes in, fakes the punt with a completion to Jack Jordan. I knew he wasn't far enough back for that to be a legit punt, and it's a first down. They cross midfield there at the Burlington 46. Snap, faked over the middle, and they tried to dump off the pass quickly to number 13, Joel Grimshaw, the sophomore. It's incomplete, so Sacca still trying to drive across here, but this could very well be a long and grueling first half if these passes continue to fall incomplete. Sacca has had 3 incompletions so far in this first drive. 44-yard line, for the Bears. For Delran, we talked about in the open that they had shut out their last 3 opponents, and movement. Jordan Wimberly had something to say, but it is a false start on the Bears. I don't know if he was talking to the referee or one of the Bears players, but he seemed to have a little bit of emotion that time. It knocks him back 5 yards for 2nd and 14, but man, both of these teams really wanting to put out a statement, really wanting to put out their emotions on the line. Eddie McNair, 70-yard touchdown pass to open up the game, and then immediately after that, Vinny Sacca pulling off a fake punt for the first down. Just beautiful football here tonight. There's a reason why the best of the best in South Jersey media are here. I'm not talking about myself. I'm talking about Mark Tribble, John Lewis. Couldn't tell if Kevin Minnick's here, but Jersey Sports Zone is here, and sometimes that's all you need to know. Sacca, pass on the flat. That's going to be, they're going to have a flea flicker. How about this? Downfield, the trickery galore. You may enter the den, but you may not leave the same. They're in the red zone. They're on the goal line. Delran sending this crowd to their feet and shaking the metal bleachers beneath us. First down.
Nick Peen just wide open downfield. It can't get much easier as a receiver. You throw the screen, you look up, no defenders near him. Can't get any easier.
No playbook is safe. Fake punt and a flea flicker in the same drive. And as you said there, Nick Peen downfield. Pass completed, it looked like by Yates that time. And they're on the 2-yard line. And there's only 3 minutes gone in the first quarter. Whistles. False start on the Bears. I don't think that really sours the moment because you do have still the 6-yard line. Still a lot to work with, and only 9:23 left in the first quarter. I really can't believe this. I mean, this is.
If you lost the cell phone, I got it. For a small fee, you'll get it back. You can come up and claim it.
Oh, has anybody heard that? They lost a cell phone? He's got it up there.
I don't know why I searched my pocket to try to find my cell phone. It's in my left hand. 9 minutes and counting remaining in the first quarter. Yes, you've only seen 3 minutes of football so far, and it's only going to get better from here. First and goal from the 6-yard line. Sacca dropping back. In trouble. Rolls out to the left. He will pump fake twice. He'll try to find a home. He will get back to where he started for a gain of 4, and he's at the 2.
Great coverage there from the Burlington Township defense, leaving him no room for any error, and he just has to keep it himself and doesn't gain a whole lot, but any yards in this position of the field is definitely helpful.
Yeah, the thing about Vinny Sacca is that he will be a very versatile player because he's around the same size as those players on the field. He's 6'1", 205, and you look at guys like Jack Jordan, only an inch taller than Jordan. You know, he fits the mold of a very mobile quarterback, which just like how the NFL transitioned from pocket passers to mobile quarterbacks, it trickles down. And now a lot of these high schools will want somebody mobile in their court. Here is Sacca, fires a pass, it's low. intended for number 5. That was Nick Peen, who completed the flea flicker. But it'll now be 3rd and goal, and one of the hardest things to do is score in this situation. You've already gotten to this point with 2 pieces of trickery up your sleeve, the fake punt and the flea flicker. And then, yeah, you got now you want to send the message to Burlington Township that, hey, not only can we pull off these trick plays, we can score on them too. 3rd and short. Actually, 3rd and goal, rather, from the, looks like around the 4. Because there was an incompletion on that last play for Peen, the intended receiver. Trying to force Burlington offside. Saka dumps off a pass. It is incomplete. Peen almost got hit. Wasn't really broken up by anybody, just a drop, but the pass pressure was made by Evan Rogers. And Saka's coming off the field, which makes me think we may settle for 3 points here.
Yeah, Shane Polina, definitely one of the most recognizable kicker names in South Jersey, at least in a WJFL.
Yeah, Polina Jr. lining up here. Jordan will hold. So this is going to be from the 4, so it'll be a 23-yard attempt for Polina. And if he makes it, it's our first DWB field goal of the year. It's up, away, and good. It took us about a month, and it took us maybe 15 games to find one, but Polina has a field goal. There's no such thing as a chip shot in New Jersey, folks. A 23-yard attempt is good, and they cut the lead in half for Burlington. It's 6-3, 7:40 left in the first. We'll take a quick break. It's a packed house here in Delran, and tonight, because of press box, I guess you could say space limits, we are one with the crowd tonight. I'm Dan Wilkins, joined by Chase Parson. To your left in the back, you can see the constant plume of smoke from the Delran snack stand. They make fresh burgers on the grill for each game, and this lead has been cut to 6-3 on a 23-yard field goal by Shane Polina. And again, no matter what level of high school football you play, you don't see a lot of dedicated place kickers. Here's Polina. Line drive kick. Very good spear that time by Penns. And he is wrestled down at the 15-yard line. Huge stop on the kickoff by number 33, Alex Kennard. And the Falcons will take over in less than ideal field position for their second drive. I mean, you still hold the lead, but your confidence might be a little shaken this time after Delran really pulled out all the stops to get any kind of points on the board, fake punt and a flea flicker. My issue is, I don't know if Delran kind of used their allowance for it tonight, because there's only so many fake plays that you can do before the defense just completely shifts their mindset and goes to whatever they want to prevent any kind of fake. So if you can keep them guessing, that's great, but that only works to a point. McNair trips left for the Falcons. Stop that time on the handoff to Pins. So Binns ends up getting maybe neutral gain that time. They got maybe a half yard. It's 2nd and 9. A lot of shifting on this play. Now they're going to go back. It's musical chairs for Burlington Township. They go back to trips left. Here's McNair dropping back. Jordan can't get the tackle. He breaks through both tackles. McNair on the right side. He's going to get all the way up to the 50, and he will get taken out of bounds around the 40, and a late flag comes in. From the backfield, they must have seen something after the whistle, or at least at the tail end of the play.
Definitely looked like a block from the back. Let's see what they call here.
And remember, these will be spot fouls, so where the flag was called probably means that Burlington still has a first down, but it probably means that their gain is just reduced by 15 yards. Block in the back on Burlington Township, so that does set them back. So again, with that being a spot foul, that should move them up, but it will take them back 15 yards from the spot of the foul. So it should be enough for a first down, but it will at least slash their gains partially, because they would have been all the way over at the opposing 41-42, and now they're over at their own 43 for this one from the right hash.
But regardless, what a run by McNair. The freshman, it's crazy to think. This is a freshman.
Exactly.
Freshman on Friday night.
He's playing like he's been doing this his entire life, like he's been doing this for all 4 years with the Falcons. And if you're Stephen Everett, you got to be impressed, because you've played Morristown last week, and that was a 48-point win for you. You scored 50. Now here comes the run by Binns, breaking through a couple tackles that time, and he's going to get enough for a first down. Stop made by number 26, Liam Finn.
But it is enough for 12 yards and enough for another Falcons first down. So they kind of went back to where they started before the block in the back penalty.
But like we were saying, you know, as it stands right now, when we look at what Burlington Township's capable of, if you're Stephen Everett, you dealt with a very versatile roster in your years at Willingboro, and now you find yourself in your second year with BT after an 8-3 record last year. It was mentioned to us this probably will be the game to decide to the Independence Division, because there's two teams at the top, and then everybody else kind of filing in behind them. The only other team that I could see have a shot is Northern Burlington, and that is if one of these two slips. Because Haddon Heights and Morristown, they're winless to start the year. They're both 0-4. And Burlington Township and Delran, again, they could look back at this game in late October and say this is the game that won one of our teams the division. 2nd and 13 from the 48. Looking like a blitz for Burlington, or rather for Delran. Oh, that's pass interference, and it gets called.
There was definitely some contact that time from the Delran defensive back.
You caught that?
Oh, apparently they're saying he caught it.
Wow, he fought through the pass interference and hauls it in.
Micah Davison will get called for it on the far side.
Penalty was declined because the receiver caught it, which gives them the better benefit,
and it now gives Burlington Township a first down.
I mean, again, that's just, I don't know what you're supposed to do there. I mean, he was just all over him.
Pretty textbook pass interference right there on the defense. They're on the doorstep of the red zone. They're at the 22. High snap. It's fumbled. Look who's got it. Did the Bears fall on it?
They did.
Yes, they did. Bears ball.
The junior Giovanni Marshall Edwards.
And that's where one of those creaks and cracks show if you're a freshman quarterback. I mean, obviously you can't fault him too much that time because it was a high snap. But the Bears taking this one over really opens the door for the rest of this game, the rest of the first half. Because if Burlington Township scored, made it 14 or 13 to 3, I don't know how it would have fared for the rest of the game. I don't know how Delran would have been able to to really settle in, because you can't be comfortable down by 10 points. Now you're only down by 3. You get a new breath of fresh air, and you've got the ball from your own 24 with about 5 minutes left in the first quarter. Yeah, still the first quarter here in Delran. We've got whistles, and Colin Huco looks like he calls a timeout. It will be Delran's first of the half. We'll take a quick break. You won't want to go anywhere. There's more fireworks on the field tonight here from Joseph Chinichi Stadium. It's 6-3 Falcons right after this. Jack Mostero, 2 for 3 with a strikeout, a double, and a single. Looking to play hero. He's going to line this one into right center field, and that's going to drop. That's going to do it if they don't get a throw down. Mostero's going to second, and Danza's coming home. Sectional champions, Gloucester Catholic. They do it in a walk-off fashion as GC with Mostero playing hero. An unbelievable.
Under 5 minutes left in the first quarter. Delran called a timeout. Look at that snap read that time. Delran delayed the snap. I formation with Saka under center. He drops back in a tight line. Oh, that is complete. Couldn't tell on the far side. Caught by number 11, Justin Murray Jr., the junior wide receiver. I'll have to refer to him as J.J. Murray for the rest of the night. Well, I mean, seriously, Justin Murray Jr., the junior, is a bit of a mouthful.
Is he a junior or a senior?
Oh, he is a senior. Never mind. I was reading the guy above him, Danny Cooney, who is a junior.
The senior, Justin Murray Jr.
Yes, the senior junior.
The senior junior.
Who's on first? I don't know. 2nd and 5. They're at the 35-yard line after the completion to J.J. Murray. Two receivers. Now Jordan going for the end around. Handoff. Peen gets about 2 yards. I feel like Delran needs to be getting a little bit more yards on those plays to keep advancing on this drive. I mean, down by 3 points, you don't want to get comfortable. I feel like they're driving right now as if they're in the lead, but they need to get a score here. Obviously, every drive you need to get a score, but for a Burlington Township team that has already put their mark on this game, for the Bears, their biggest thing is making sure that they do not give the Falcons any more fire to the flame. The fire's there right now, and I'm not talking about the burgers on the grill at the snack stand. I'm talking about Burlington Township got 69-yard touchdown pass on the first play of the game. Now they have to find a way to put out the fire for Delran. Going with the triple option this time. Here we go. It's J.J. Murray. He's getting a first down. Big hit at the waist. Delran wants a flag. And J.J. Murray gets himself up to the 45 across midfield. And he got a completion earlier in that set of downs. Now gets a pitch back to him to get a first down for the Bears. Big play that time. If you're just joining us, 6-3. Burlington Township scored on the first play of the game, 69-yard passing touchdown, Eddie McNair. Oh, Peen. He will get to forward progress right around neutral gain. It'll be 2nd and 10 here from the 45. But this is always a good place to be. You know, when I was here, again, in, I want to say it was September 2023, it was Huco's first year. There was a lot of uncertainty in the crowd. But I see folks from all different places, from all different programs, watching this game tonight because this might just be the best game of the week, of the night in South Jersey. You can say Atlantic City Cherokee because it's a higher division. Whoa, look out here. An offensive lineman and number 2, being Zamir Lane, got into it. That was number 61 for the Bears, Stanley McGraw. And that's one of those situations where
he wasn't involved in it, but he almost got trampled because he was down and then there was a shove after the play. No gain still. Back-to-back rushes for neutral gain. It's 3rd and 9, or 3rd and 10 rather. But you can feel the tension in the building already, and we've still got 90 seconds left in the first quarter. Saka drops back. Lets it fly. Deep. And it's all Burlington Township, but it goes through 2 receivers' hands. It's number 7, Julian Lattimore, and number 6, Evan Rogers, who broke it up. Looked like a Delran receiver went down. That's why that pass seemed like it was headed for all gold down there. Now you got to watch it because they faked the punt on 4th and whatever their last time. So they'll have to be careful here. I don't know, you think Burlington Township could fall for another one?
It's
because he's going back.
It's interesting. There's going to be somebody that's kept back. That forces the Falcons' last guy back to kind of like stutter in case he does punt the ball or if he does throw the ball, which
this time he does send it away. It's popped straight up. It will go out of bounds around the 23, 24-yard line, and that's where BT will take over. And as we get to the tail end of the first quarter, it's 6-3. Falcons looked like that this was going to be a high-scoring affair, but right now, Burlington Township definitely making things interesting with this ball game as their last drive was ended as they were on the doorstep of the red zone with a fumble recovery. First and 10 for Burlington Township, 70 seconds on the board. Ben's in motion. Ben spinning, breaks a tackle, gets back up to the 30. Sanderson got the tackle that time. Delran's got a drone flying over the field. Now, that is permitted per the NJSIAA. I mean, obviously, we wouldn't be showing it if it wasn't, but or we'd be calling him out for it if it wasn't. But it was allowed a couple of years ago for the sake of recording game film. It has to be approved by both coaches, though, and it cannot be used for certain scenarios. It's McNair hit as he throws. Delran's going to pick it up. They're going to run it back. But the whistles do fly, so it won't be a recovery. It'll just be an incompletion because it was a forward pass.
Yeah, definitely not. That's definitely an incomplete pass.
We got a flag, though.
Is there?
Or at least we thought.
I think the PA announcer just said there should be, which this is probably one of the most biased PA announcers I've heard. There should be a flag.
I don't know if I heard there should be. I thought because they're walking him back.
Oh.
No,
I thought I heard there should be. I didn't see a flag on the field.
No. I wouldn't go that far.
All right.
Intentional grounding.
You
know what? Yeah, I
that.
thought that they were going to call that because he didn't get it back to the line of scrimmage, and he kind of threw it because he was going down, and he didn't really have a receiver in mind. Just kind of throw it up and see what happens. They're back to second and a long way. First down marker is all the way up at the 36. They're back inside the 10. McNair, pass complete, and wrestled to the ground. He's got it. Marshall Edwards picks up the tackle. Catch made by Evan Rogers. With 10 seconds left, that will end the first quarter. They'll pull him off the field, and after one, it's a thriller here in Delran as the scoring got done early, but some great defensive stops highlighted this quarter. It'll be fourth down for the Falcons when we come back right after this.
Fourth down for the Falcons. They are up to the 18-yard line, so still not in great position. Can't tell who's going back to punt here. Fourth and long. Good punt. Returned at the 43 and immediately pile driven that time. Zamir Lane coming in hot. Return made by number 6, Micah Davison. Or actually, no, number 5, Nick Peen. He didn't get too far. And Delran will still start in opposing territory at the 43. What do you think Delran's got to do in this drive? Other than score a touchdown, what do you think they've got to do differently?
They need, in my opinion, to keep it consistent. They can't just run a handoff to Nick Peen and then try a trick play. It's just going to keep them back in case it doesn't work out like the last couple of trick plays. They need to keep it consistent on offense.
Whistles before the snap, or whistles during the snap. Got offsides on the Falcons. Just some of the sights and sounds tonight from Delran, the famous Delran marching band, playing on a staple of Joseph Chinichi Stadium. Such a great place to be here. That's why we keep coming back, because when people ask me what goes into your decision of where to go, 90% of it, maybe 80% of it, is how good is the matchup. But I also consider, how is the press box? How is the Wi-Fi? What are the people like there? How far is it away from me? And in this situation, this is the only place where I will willingly go, even though we don't have a press box, just because of how nice of a place it is to be here. Saka, throw to the flat. Got it to Mary. Left side, gets up to the 34, and he'll get himself about 3 or 4 of the yards difference. There's a couple of shoves. Flag comes in.
Let's see what they call it on. It might be on Burlington Township.
Or, I mean,
sometimes it went either way, yeah.
Yeah, sometimes it depends on who shoves first. The referees have the better ears. But I have a feeling that this game could definitely get chippy as the night goes on.
Oh,
I mean,
100%.
Listen, that is the consequence of having 4-0 football programs, is that these players are going to be passionate, these players are going to be angry, and these players are going to get in each other's faces from time to time. This game was already a rivalry, but you add on to the fact that these two teams are undefeated. Delran had 3 straight shutouts going into tonight. Let's take a look. Face mask on offense, or on Delran it looked like. So an offsetting penalty that time. And obviously when you have offsetting penalties, people are going to disagree.
Obviously.
Because they don't want it to go against them, and then the Burlington Township people, they don't want it to go against them. As an observer of the game, offsetting penalties are just, that's the one thing that as an observer of football, I'm just like, it doesn't do anything. It doesn't tell the players, hey, we need to stop getting in each other's faces. We need to stop making silly mistakes, because there's no punishment, because both teams made a mistake. I understand it, but in that situation, with it both being personal fouls, they'll let it go, and it'll be second and short from the 34. Saka in the shotgun, direct snap to Saka, and he will get taken out of bounds. And whistles called because it looks like, did Delran call a timeout, or is there, I think just because he got out of bounds, it looks like.
There was, I didn't see the number, I didn't see who did
there is a flag.
There was a flag. It looked like somebody threw sort of like a punch, trying to, kind of like a punch in the back, just trying to get him out of bounds, but it was obvious he threw.
It was not like a
fist.
football move.
It was not a football move. It definitely looked like it was sort of like a punch in the back.
I'm not sure here.
They pick up the flag. Let's see what they're going to say.
Hands to the face. That is the second personal foul against Burlington Township in a row, and might not be the only one we see tonight.
Definitely not. We're a minute Not even a minute.
We're 30 seconds.
We're 30
into
seconds
the
into the second quarter. It's going to get just as bad. It's going to be just as bad, if not worse, going on.
Because these teams are going to go into the locker room at halftime, and they're going to be like, okay, we saw what happened. Let's squish them. That's what the mentality is going to be. And these personal fouls, they could get dangerous if you don't handle them right. And for these head coaches, Hugo, again, a younger head coach, he's in his third year with this program. And then you've got Stephen Everett, the longtime veteran, former Willingboro head coach and former sectional champion out of Willingboro. Saka gets it up to the 20. I'm sorry, up to the 15 it looks like it'll be a gain of 2. I mean, Everett, Central Jersey Group 1 champions in 2018, also a regional champion in 2019, and then Central Jersey champs again in 22 and 23. So he's got 4 rings to go his way. And, of course, Burlington Township also lost Everett Warmley, who transferred from Burlington Township to Winslow, their great program over there as the wide receivers coach. So BT has gained some coaches in the last year. They've lost a couple coaches. But this team hasn't really changed. Saka has the ball. Another keeper that time, not really getting too far. I mean, I don't know what the range is for their place kicker. I'm not sure how far he can go from. I mean, 23 yards, that's almost extra point range, so you're not too worried about it. But
and he cleared the extra point or the field goal near extra point range by, I would say that probably would have been good from maybe if you took it at like the 25-yard line.
Probably. I mean, you see the NFL kickers all the time. They make a 70-yard field goal.
They make it look easy.
They make it look easy, but when you're in the game, that's so much different. He is warming up on the sideline, far away from everybody else, kind of in his own world over there. Saka in trouble. Oh, man, he got drilled, but the handoff was made. That was a super late hit, and Saka gets hit. He goes to the sideline as to why that wasn't a flag.
Nah, I wouldn't say that was a flag. That looked like it was a quick play action. He had the ball long enough. You're going to get hit. You got to deal with it. It's football. I don't play football. I know you're going to get hit. You can't get upset about it.
The thing is, though, if that was a hit, that I will say you're right, but he also kind of had a close call there, because if he was hanging on to that for about a half second or a second longer, probably would have been a foul.
Oh, he would have been blown up. Definitely, probably would have been a foul there.
This will be from the 19 or 18-yard line. This will be an attempt from 35 to tie the game. It's up, away, and no good.
Oh, no good. Wow.
Okay.
This is such a deceiving angle.
Yeah, I couldn't tell from the angle. I thought it went through off the goalpost, but the referees downstairs had a better angle of it than we do. So, I don't know. I thought he had it, but the game would have been tied. Instead, it remains at 6-3. We'll stay here. Yeah, hard to tell from the angle. I mean, if we were standing a little bit closer, we would have had a better look, but I would trust the referees downstairs with that one. But, yeah, no, I agree with you. I think in that situation, if he was hit just a tad later, it's a matter of split seconds. But, again, you're going to get hit, and the missed field goal brings up 1st and 10 from Burlington Township's 20. McNair handoff to Binns.
He is super shifty. As we have seen on the few handoffs that he's had, he cuts left, right in the blink of an eye, and he's got some decent yardage on some handoffs so far. And it's only the first half.
Well, we talked about last week, he was on fire, 17 carries, over 315 rushing yards in the 48-point win over Morristown last week. Movement.
Looked like on Delran.
Yeah, that looked like offside. You heard the groans from the crowd. That looked like it was number 55, Sam DeSilva, the nose tackle, and they will say it is offside. So
That should set him up for second and short, maybe 1 or 2 yards to the first.
Flag on the play. The offside for the Bears. Still going to be second down. It looks to be a long one.
Second and 1. First down marker is up at the 30. Eddie McNair, what a night it's been for him. Still looking for his second touchdown of the game. After hitting his man downfield for 70, he gets wrapped up in the backfield. Pointing towards the sideline, number 28, Marshall Edwards on the tackle.
Third down, and we're going to call it almost 5. And this is a great time.
Loss of 3.
Third down.
And it'll be second and 3, second and 4.
Is that allowed? There you go. He stopped it.
I was going to ask myself the same question. Whistles. Timeout.
Timeout.
Burlington Township. All right, well, 7:09 left in quarter number 2. We'll stay here, and we'll go over some advertising reads from our wonderful sponsors. This broadcast is brought to you by our good friends over at DAWG Pro Wrestling, the dangerous adrenaline wrestling gladiators, New Jersey's premier pro wrestling organization with high-flying events and nonstop entertainment throughout the Garden State. And then also, this broadcast is brought to you by Harper Driving School. Over 90% of students who take their New Jersey State driving test with Harper pass on the first attempt. Excuse me, that's Gray Fox Sports. So we'll introduce them as well. New Jersey's premier, or South Jersey's premier professional photographer, Michael Taylor. Book him today at grayfoxsports.net or visit the handle of the same name on Instagram. Video is a little zoomed in, but that's the Delran gate. When you get into this stadium, it's a bit of a walk from the parking lot. You get the scenic view of the Burlington County forestry. 2 receivers deep to the near sideline. Good read that time. Here's McNair. Plenty of, no, it's a rush. That fooled us to no end. Couldn't tell where he was going that time. And it's a first down, Falcons.
Great run by Aiden Baines. He had us fooled, at least me.
Yeah, he had me fooled too.
I kept looking at McNair. He played it off very well. He sold that.
When you can sell the commentators on something, you've done the right thing. You've done your job. They're at their own 47. Now McNair with another fake. It's to Binns, who takes some flight that time for a gain of 8 or 9, second and short. They still got half a quarter left. This has been a relatively low-scoring game, but this is really, in my opinion, the first real test for Burlington Township. I mean, PCTI, that was a huge win versus the largest high school in the state of New Jersey, but that doesn't mean everything. 2 of their wins were versus winless Haddon Heights and Morristown. Both of those teams 0-4 this year. Giovanni Marshall Edwards on the tackle, carried by Binns. And now that will set up, I believe, third and short. You can see that ball there spotted on the 43. I think they've got maybe a yard to go. Whistles. And Burlington Township calls their second timeout. How about this? 6-3. We'll take a quick break. 5:38 left in the second quarter, and in the first half here from the famous Joseph Chinichi Stadium in Delran.
be a 3rd down.
3rd down and short. Bears and the Falcons going at it tonight here in Joseph Janichi Stadium. A beautiful sunset behind us and a fantastic environment. McNair drops back, nearly hit as he throws. Is it picked off? It's incomplete. It's broken up. It was almost J.J. Mary who came up with it, and the intended receiver was Gerald Sackey, who you would highlight it in your open, Chase, and it'll be 4th and short as Burlington Township, even with a 3rd and short situation, went for all the marbles and came up empty.
Gerald Sackey, that's just fantastic knowledge to just rip it out of his hand and just try and force the incompletion there. There's no chance of him winning that ball back, so he just tries to rip it out of the defender's hands, and he does very well.
Sackey this year, 15 receptions on 377 yards and 9 touchdowns. 4th and short. Is this short?
Dives for it.
Let's see here. We got to wait for it. We got to wait. This is close.
He went full extension. He looked a little bit short to me, but let's see what the referee said.
Yeah, we're off a little bit to the side. We're lined up around the 45. 1st down, Delran.
Wow.
That's big. 2nd turnover for Burlington Township. One of the fumble recoveries, and now a turnover on downs. I mean, that's a matter of inches. And Delran's keeping this game close. And it's going to continue to be close going into the halftime break. I mean, this is a game that I can already feel is going to be extremely fun to watch. Just from this first quarter and a half alone. First and 10 for the Bears from the 43-yard line. Friday Night Lights here from Delran, and Colin Huco calls a timeout. So while we're on the air, I got a text from Mike DeChico, the athletic director at Gateway. This isn't the flashiest way to do it, but he said the Dan Wilkins tree grows a branch, and he showed one of our current guys, Ryan Sieber, next to, that's Gianni Pembroke over there, an injured football player. And I love this. I love the Dan Wilkins tree grows a branch because Sieber, he's one of our longest tenured guys. He's a freshman at Rowan University right now. And it's cool that DeChico is thinking of us. We see him and the Gateway Gators on Saturday, October 4th. Versus the Woodbury Thundering Herd. That will also be our Dan Wilkins Broadcasting 4-year celebration. Our anniversary date is October the 5th, but that is a Sunday. So it'll be double trouble between the Eagles versus the Broncos and I believe NLDS Game 2 that night. So we'll have to postpone the broadcast for a celebration so we can celebrate Red October. Here's Saka. Oh, how about this? Saka's got it way downfield. Mary couldn't come up with it. Wow, that was close. That was very close to being a great play that time.
It's close, but it's not smart. I
don't like it.
I don't understand it. I don't like it, and I don't understand it. They're throwing into double coverage, sometimes even triple coverage. That was almost triple coverage at the end of that play.
That was more like 2.5 coverage that time, if you want to ask me.
It's not beneficial. You're down 3. Of course, there's still a lot of time left in the game, but only 5:17 in the first half. That's not beneficial, especially at this time of the game. You need to just try and get the yards, rack up the points as easily as you can. You can't just try and chuck everything down the field.
The incompletion, though, does fall short. Solomon Wesley was the defensive back who broke it up. Still in Delran territory. Saka was deep in his pocket. He scrambles back again. Passes incomplete. Intended for Peen.
Wow, that was lucky.
Wimberly was on the madman chase that time.
Nick Peen got it looks like his fingertip on that ball that just lifted it over the hands of the defender. Otherwise, it would have been an interception.
2 legendary South Jersey reporters in the house tonight. On the right, obviously you can tell with the hat on, Mark Tribble. I asked him, I said, how many of those hats do you own? And he said, a couple dozen, but
it's been the exact same hat since day one that he has started doing South Jersey reporting here. Now, he is from Virginia, but still obviously holds a vested interest in Philadelphia and South Jersey and has done a fantastic job. Saka hit as he throws, falls down, going back, incomplete again. That's 3 straight incomplete. Double coverage again, going for a spin and a twirl is David Reiford because he broke the pass up that time. Tentative receiver looked like it was Marshall Edwards there.
That one looked like the best opportunity for Delran to get a big conversion. He had it in his hands and it just fell too low. I'm just going to haul it in.
So Delran will get ready to punt this one away. Again with Vinny Saka back there. I mean, with 5 minutes left, I don't know. I mean, Burlington Township does have their returner up. So it points to me that they'll go for the punt. In the last weekend of September.
Here's the man in motion.
This time he rolls out to the left.
Yeah, he's going to keep it.
He's
Yep.
keeping it. Does he have enough?
He reaches.
Wow, he reached forward to try to get enough. I can't tell if he got it.
It looks like the reach from our angle, we're right on the first down. Let's see what the referee says.
It's right in front of us.
Yeah, it looked like the reach was good to me, but the referees are going to talk.
Yeah, I
like
mean,
the sideline ref says he's going to mark it short.
He's close. This could mean a measurement.
Yep.
Burlington Township first down. Their second fake punt of the night. This time it falls short, and it gives the Falcons the ball with 5 minutes left in the half from the 47.
That looks to be like their cue, Dan. The man comes in motion on the punt. No matter who is in motion, somebody comes in motion, and they press the near side or the far side, whichever side they want to press. And then that's when the QB or whoever has that snap runs towards that side and either hauls it long or just keeps it himself. He almost kept it and got the first down there. What a play that would have been if he just dove a little bit earlier.
I think just looking back at the replay now, I think it was about a half yard he was short.
Oh, look.
Oh, hold on here. We've got a measurement.
Here we go.
They want to get it right. They got to make sure they're keeping the chains in the right direction, though.
He's walking on the... Oh, now he's moving over. All right. That's interesting.
Yeah, they got to make sure they get this one right because it's a matter of inches. Sidelines blocking our view. We'll keep it right where it is. They stretch the chain out as far as they can go. And it's a first down. Delran.
Wow.
Stephen Everett.
Nope.
Wait, no, now they're they're turning it over again.
Referee, I think, pointed the wrong way.
He pointed the wrong way. What a fake out. They faked out the Bears. The ref pointed the wrong way, and they confirmed that it's a first down for Burlington Township.
That's great. I love that. As a Sentiments Pirate, I love that. That's amazing.
Just because both of these schools were your rivals?
Mainly Delran. I don't. There's a special spot in every Sentiments and Pirates heart that is just rotten from Delran. But
we have fun.
We have fun here. This is a fun game.
But you got to keep it. You got to keep it neutral.
You got to keep it neutral. I thought I was doing pretty good.
Binns, left side.
Good cut there by Binns.
They didn't have the chain set up by the time the snap was running. I don't know what they're doing out there. The ref pointed the wrong way, and then on Burlington Township's first run, they didn't even have the chains in the ground. They just had it like halfway unfurled. Now they're going to go to the 45. They're across midfield. What a break, though, for Burlington Township. About a half yard made the difference. Hand off to Binns.
Loses it.
Ball comes out.
Looks like Township fell on top
I
of it.
think Township did fall on it, and it'll be a first down. So it will remain Falcons ball, and it will remain a first down. Again, Delran's focus far and away. Obviously, Eddie McNair is a big threat as a freshman quarterback, but they have to keep their defense dead red on the running back Binns.
I don't care that last week was versus Morristown and it was a 48-point game. He rushed for 315 yards last week. You have to have that dead red. Left side, Binns. That'll be another gain of about 9 or 10.
He's tearing them up.
I mean, he's doing this. Imagine what he did last week versus Morristown. I mean, he's just been that good this year. And again, this Burlington Township team, if we run into them next year, first of all, we'll run into Burlington Township again in the last week of the regular season versus Cinnaminson. October 23rd, Thursday night game. And when we see the Falcons in action again, we'll come back and we'll say how much better Aiden Binns has been. And maybe we'll see if Bryce Carter comes back in the rotation. They send Binns in motion. Second and 2 rather, a gain of 8 on the prior play. McNair drops back. Liner over the middle. It's a interception. Can of corn. It's not baseball season, but he's got a can of corn nonetheless. Takes it to the near sideline. Spins, fires, down at the 25. Interception, Nicholas Ferreira. It's McNair's first career interception, and it comes at a great time for the Bears. Down by 3. There's a flag.
It looked like it was late. At least
did you see it come in late?
I didn't see it come in at all.
When you're calling an interception like that, you can't
just look away.
Yeah. You're always looking for the flags, and so tackle below the waist, it looks like, or an illegal tackle. It'll be against Delran. So it looks like the low block was called. The interception will hold. Delran will take over, but they'll get a 15-yard penalty added that will hamper their drive with under 3 minutes remaining in the half. A low-scoring half. I didn't really think that this was going to be this way. It was 6-0. Took us 24 seconds to see our first touchdown of the night. 69-yard pass. And now Delran's got 3 minutes left. I don't think I could do that. The backflips.
Anything's possible if you put your mind to it, Dan. Just think about that. That's the mentality you got to have.
I had a Wawa meatball sub for lunch. I don't think I could handle that. Peen on the carry. My question is, if you're doing the backflips like that, how do you not get dizzy?
Oh, they definitely are.
It's impressive.
And you see they kind of stumble off at the end. They're definitely dizzy.
Somebody get him some Pedialyte or something. 2nd and 12. Taking a while here. Delran still in the huddle. We'll see if they burn their last timeout. I can't imagine they have too much on the play clock. I mean, we were grateful last night in Buna to have a play clock on the scoreboard. So we were able to catch delay of games, which, funny enough, it felt like they had more delay of game penalties with the play clock installed over at the John Zuckel complex. Oh, he's in trouble, but he didn't pass it. It was a handoff.
It was a play action, and then he tossed it backwards.
We've got a timeout. Burlington Township calls it. It's their – oh, no, it is a – I couldn't tell there. Vince, how many did – Burlington Township had okay, never mind. I was looking at the scoreboard to see how many timeouts they had left, and it said Burlington Township had none, but that's only their second timeout. So they have it swapped and also incorrect. Both teams only have one timeout remaining. We'll take a quick break with 1:40 left in the first half. 3rd and 12, minute 40 left. A somewhat exasperated Delran offense on 3rd and long here. They had a low block after an interception that knocked them back. Now Saka pump fakes, rolls out to the right. He lets it fly, up, brought down. Jack Jordan with some hops for a first down. That's just a great play by Jack Jordan right there, being able to get up one-on-one coverage that time. He's not exactly the biggest guy that you have. He's 6 foot, 185, able to come up, make the play, and come down on that play for the first down. Saka tried to dive forward on the snap. There were whistles beforehand, and it is a false start.
Be a false start on the Bears.
Again, it just seems like they keep getting these opportunities, and they're just not taking advantage of them. That's my biggest pet peeve right now with Delran, is that they are just not putting their best foot forward on this offensive side. And yes, you can only do so much about Burlington Township's D-line. I mean, they're blowing up Saka right now. He's got to find a way, if he's going to pass, either do play action to kind of offset things, or if you're going to throw from the pocket, get it done quickly. Get somebody open. Run a route where you know somebody's going to be open at least for a split second and try to lock that down. They've got 1st and 15, 45 seconds left. Delran does have one timeout. They hand it off. Trying to work through it that time. Payne was on the carry. And again, they have one timeout. Hugo will see if he can use it. And he's standing near the referee. He'll put Jordan in. And now he brings Saka out. So kind of this 2-minute drill is really going by the wayside. I mean, they'll have 13 seconds left. They're not going to use that one timeout. They'll have one play. I am very surprised that they are not going up tempo here for what will be the last play of the half. Saka drops back for all the marbles. Picked off. Interception for Saka over the middle. Falcons have a chance to return. They get a couple of blocks. And at the end of the half, Burlington Township is stopped.
Oh, look at that.
And we've got a shove. This could get in trouble.
It looks like that was started by Burlington Township.
Yeah, there's guys coming in with their helmets off here at the end of the half. They're trying to get them separated. The pick was made by Solomon Wesley, and they've got to get them separated. And then Stephen Everett's coming out. He's telling his players to pull off the field. But now the referees have to get it sorted to see what happened. But Wesley, on a Hail Mary attempt by Saka, intercepted the ball and returned it to the 20. And Delran will rally together. And they're going to try to sort this out. Now Stephen Everett's going over. Delran's still chirping. There's somebody who's still got words. The referees are telling Delran, they are commanding Delran to go to the locker room.
That's what they do best.
Delran is
just the rah-rah.
It's something. They're bringing the energy tonight.
That's what they need.
And they need it. They'll go to the locker room. The problem is they've got to exit through the same gate. We'll take a break. We'll have about a 15-minute break. We've got the DWB Archive program coming up. And we have a fierce, we have a feisty, we've got a firework-filled second half coming your way. Low-scoring affair in Delran. It's the Falcons 6 and the Bears 3 right after this.
Book Dog Pro Wrestling for your next event or outing for the greatest action that New Jersey Pro Wrestling has to offer. Any place, any time, any setting. Dog Pro Wrestling will bring the action to you, and you won't want to miss it for moments like this. But don't just take it from me. Take it from Max Mundo, the Dog Pro Wrestling ambassador.
This is Max Mundo with Dog Pro Wrestling. Are you a civic organization? Sporting club looking to fundraise? Then look no further to Dog Pro Wrestling. We do grand openings, corporate events, and much more.
And why not from some of the wrestling talent themselves?
I'm Vinny the Fixer, and I'm the champion of Dog Professional Wrestling. If you want to book the best, come see us. We're the cream of the crop. We'll come to any fundraiser you can think of. Just name the place, and we'll show up.
This is the upstanding Dylan Mesh, and for the entirety of my professional wrestling career, dog wrestling has been a mainstay for where I like to wrestle. So you can believe me when I say that it is quality. And I'm upstanding. I'm the only opinion you need.
Yeah! It's your boy Gabriel Hodder here with my man Matthew Oman, and if you want your events to be all fight, no flight,
then book Dog Wrestling so you can witness true primal fear. Woo!
In life, the road ahead is full of possibilities, but to navigate it safely, you need the right skills. Harper Driving School is the premier driving school serving Gloucester, Salem, and Camden counties. With experienced instructors, many of whom are teachers in local schools, we are dedicated to your success and will help you master the road with confidence. With an over 95% success rate of students passing their road test on their first try, you know your student will be in good hands while embarking on a huge step of their young adult lives, all while avoiding the lines at the DMV and getting insurance discounts.
We chose Harper, and so should you.
So after the holding call to be 1st and 20, as now rolling out to the right side, he's got a little bit of room to run on a QB rush. He's going to get a first down. There's no flags, and how about this for 61 yards? Anthony Gaetano with a QB rush that works to perfection. He hugs the sideline, and Anthony Gaetano gets the scoring started for the Redhawks at 7-6. He's donning the number 34 and the shortstop for this one. First pitch. There's a line drive into center field. That one is going to drop it. It's going to go to the outfield wall. One run will score. Spence is going to make a huge arc around third. She will score to make it 3-0. And here comes the runner to score. It's an inside the park home run for Ella Hayes to make it a 4-0 game, a 3-run inside the Parker to the 2. It will be inbounded by Pat Monahan. Oh, the ball gets away. Who's going to have it? GCIT will hang on to the possession. It goes to Stanwood. Stanwood inside. They'll get the shot off. It's good! Unbelievable! Boston calls the timeout, but will they get it? Unbelievable! Unbelievable! A double contest shot from Hellman! Wow. Ryan James wanted the timeout, but did they get it in time? He's donning the number 34 and the short doubleheader. Reached first on an error in the first at-bat of Game 2. This one's lined into center field. Slider going over. He dives. Did he make the catch? Yes, he did. Ryan Slider makes the catch. Not on a slide, but instead on a dive. 2 away. Literally, they've been here twice, and they're about to score, or on the doorstep of scoring 50 for the second game in a row. Xavier Terry Brown. He is still on his feet. He's being shoved forward into the end zone. But who's got the ball? Look at Jason Solomon. In Woodbury's hands, and now they're back at the 50. This one's going back. This one's going to go to the distance. I don't see any flags. Did that just go for 100 yards? I think it did. I do not see any flags as Woodbury
Oh my goodness, Jason Solomon, have a day. He is the first man not named Taylor to score. Oh, man. Wow, that was good.
They were able to get out unscathed in the third, but now the fourth isn't looking so kind. There's a high drive, deep center, way back, and it is out of here! John Pelosi, 3-run home run! He's left the building to dead center! And John Perosi's blown this game wide open. Have yourself a celebration, Johnny.
Will lead it off for the Senators. Chase Rowley.
1 half down, 1 half to go. I'm Dan Wilkins, joined by Chase Parson to my left. This has been an exhilarating first half here from Joseph Chinnici Stadium in Delran. There's been turnovers, there's been fake punts, there's been a whole lot of flags, and there's been a lot of tension in this first half, but a low-scoring one at that. All the scoring in the first part of the first quarter, 6-3 at halftime.
Somebody to definitely look out for is that freshman quarterback, Eddie McNair, for Burlington Township. First play of the game, chucks a 69-yard touchdown. That's been the only real score that we've got, the only touchdown, at least, of the first half. Definitely going to be a very exciting second half, to say the least. At the end of that first half, there was some pushing and shoving. This is what these two teams do. You got a rah-rah team against another rah-rah team. The two energies collide. That's bound to happen. So the second half is definitely going to be a close and a good one.
Well, I'll tell you this, Burlington Township and Delran would be rivals in any sport, regardless of where you put them. If I covered them in boys soccer with Tommy Orr, and I forget the coach's name, the gentleman from Burlington Township with the man bun, I remember you, so I'm sorry. If we were covering that, it would be great. But if it was basketball, it would be great. If it was baseball, it would be great. Here, you get all of those elements in one with 4-0 football programs on both sides. Both of them want to win this division because they know that this game could very well decide the division, and that's what's going to be huge for them tonight. The thing is, though, both teams have to remain disciplined. That is going to be my big thing. And, you know, if I'm going home and I'm talking about how this game conspired, I'm going to say which team was more disciplined. That's probably the team that won the game. Because right now, Burlington Township's up by 3 points, and they're talking. And Delran's down by 3 points. They kind of have a little bit of an audacity to talk because they are down, but they're playing good football. They're getting themselves in the unorthodox territory with these fake punts and, you know, all of this unusual trickery from Vinny Sacca and crew. This is a fierce rivalry. I'll show you behind us here. This Delran team is in a circle. Burlington Township, Delran was in a stretching circle at the halftime break. We'll let you pass, man. But listen, 24 more minutes of WJFL football tonight. It's only going to get better from here with a 3-point game at the half. Final thoughts before we turn this thing around.
I'm excited. I'm ready. This is my first football broadcast, and this is definitely the best one out of the whole bunch to do it with. So I'm very excited to see how this turns out, Dan.
You picked a good one to start with. We'll take a quick break. 24 more minutes. We've got 24 down, 24 to go. Only 9 points combined on the board. It's 6-3 at half. We'll be right back. Well, I didn't mention it during the halftime break, but we had a feeling that due to those extracurriculars at the halftime break, there would be penalties assessed on the second half kickoff. Burlington Township indeed will kick off from their own 25. It is number 40, Matt Small, to send it away. Should be a good return. Squib kick. Downed. Picked up the 38. Big hit, stays in bounds, and now he's going to traverse the field. He's going to go back the other way. And he is tackled right around midfield, and Delran with an unusual kick to start the second half. Correct that. That kick was Patrick Moore for Burlington Township. Great job to stay on his feet, though, for the Bears that time. That was number 6, Micah Davison, who's been tasked with a couple of the returns tonight for the Bears. Some out-of-town scores from around South Jersey. Camden leads Rancocas Valley 8-0 at the half. There's actually a handful of big, low-scoring games tonight. Washington Township leads Williamstown 14-0 at the end of the first quarter. Cherokee leads Atlantic City 7-0 at half. Ocean City leads Hamilton 14-0 at half. Cedar Creek leads Holy Spirit 14-13 at half. And then Absegami over Oakcrest 7-6.
in the second quarter. And then Shawnee and Lenape. Shawnee 28-0 over Lenape in the second quarter. That's a gain of 2 on the play. Gets them up to the 48. And this will be an interesting kind of scenario here for Delran. They've got to move the ball forward here. They had a lot of chances in the first half to get a touchdown, but even though they have points on the board, they do not have a touchdown on the board, and that is going to be a big thing hanging over third-year head coach's Colin Huco's head. And we'll see how they end up working with it, but they gained a yard. And a very good snap read by the Falcons this time. Spinning. Can't get anywhere on it. Peen will lose a yard. What I'm thinking is that this first part of the second half will be a little bit calmer, and then I think these teams will have a couple more big hits, and then they'll be reminded of what happened in the first half. They'll be reminded of why they were fighting this game, and then the energy will come back. But right now I think both of these teams might be putting an extra emphasis on playing it safe with how the first half ended, because the referees, kudos to them, are laying down the law. And I respect them for that, because there's too many games these days that descend. You know, you see all these fights on social media. They descend into chaos because the referees don't lay down the letter of the law, and they don't enforce the big plays. As Saka got through the O-line, only got about a yard. That'll be 4th and 8. But respect the fact that these guys are holding down the fort so far tonight. So it'll be only a gain of 1. They'll get up to the 49. And it looks like the punt crew will come out for Delran.
Well, you never know with the punt crew, Dan. We saw 2 fakes. One was completed. The other one was just short. So it's going to be interesting to see what they do to start the second half. What I would look for with this is you got to look for the man in motion. As soon as they put that man in motion, 2 times out of 2 so far, a man in motion on the punt signals that they're going to go for it. But we'll see here.
A good snap. Saka, that's number 3. Now he sends it away.
Yes,
and it'll be out at the 20. Now you were right there.
That's so confusing. I thought he was going to keep it and go for it. That's okay. Now we figured out somewhat of their game plan with the punt. They're going to see if
they're holding
open.
It off for as long as they can, and because Saka is the quarterback and punter, they're leaving that door open to, if Saka finds room, to send it away. But as long as you're behind the line of scrimmage, you can punt it from anywhere on the field. So he was near the sideline that time. He read his options, was able to send it away. It went out of bounds at the 40. Landed a lot farther away than that, but it matters of where the ball goes out of bounds. And McNair will start this drive, the first of the second half for the Falcons, with 3 receivers to the right facing us on the near sideline from their own 40. Safety up deep. Finn's going back. Burlington Township taking a little bit of extra time here. Making a shift on the offensive line, now dropping back McNair. Got a man, broken up. I think that would have been incomplete anyway with Marshall Edwards on the attack. The intended receiver was number 7, Julian Lattimore, the sophomore. So probably would have been a little low, but still good effort there from Marshall Edwards to come in and break that one up. By the way, if you're joining us because Mark Tribble shouted us out on Twitter, we appreciate it.
Thanks, Mark.
Of course, the Hat Man. This is his first time at Delran, funny enough. But probably one of the most respected reporters in South Jersey, just for his professionalism and his knowledge of the game. He highlights players from all divisions, of all groups. And now a rush to the right side by Binns, gets tripped up, and he takes himself down that time. There's 2 Delran players down right around midfield. But they both are able to get up under their own power and unable to force an injury timeout that time. One of them was number 4, Nate Martyr. Hold on here. Officials call a timeout. Falcons will spot the ball at the 39. They're pulling.
Looks like they're pulling Martyr off the field. He did start walking back into position, but he looked like he was holding his head a little bit, and he comes off the field holding his head still.
See, I think in that situation when you're dealing with something like mandatory concussion protocols, they have to have him sit out for a couple of plays. I mean, they could also have said that because the officials called a timeout, it counts as an injury timeout, and Martyr has to sit for one play. 1st and 10, Falcons from the 40. They started their drive on their own 40. Good snap read here. He gets wrestled up, and he is taken aback, way back. Number 55, Sam Da Silva, the senior, gives the home crowd something to like. That's a loss. Forward progress dictates it at the 46, so it's a loss of 5. How about that? First down markers at the 30, and a big sack that time against McNair, who went 5 for 10 in his first varsity start versus Morristown last week. 2nd and 15. McNair deep in the shotgun, drops back from the 45, throws it over the middle. It's intercepted. He's going to bring it back to midfield. He's going to have a chance to bring this all the way. He will bring it back all the way with no flags down. Touchdown, Delran!
Giovanni Marshall Edwards.
Giovanni Marshall Edwards. 55 yards to the house, and the Bears have their first touchdown of the night. The stands shaking as midway through the 3rd. Not even Vinny Sacca finding the end zone. A pick 6 all the way. And Mark Tribble might want to notch that one in his non-offensive touchdown of the week graphic, because that one went 55 yards, and the Bears lead it 9-6. Well, McNair didn't make a bad pass by any means.
Not at all.
It just felt like that he didn't have the same situation that he wanted to, and ended up making an uncomfortable pass. He was deep in the shotgun, at least 10 yards behind the line of scrimmage, and Marshall Edwards came down. The kick, it's a floater. It's up, away, and good. So the Bears, they lead this thing. It is 10-6 because they scored 7 points. It can't be 13-6 like the scoreboard says on the left. But 7:32 left in the 3rd quarter, and the Bears lead this thing now on a pick 6 interception. Unbelievable stuff.
Yeah, I heard that too. The PA announcer just...
He was reading off the scoreboard.
Okay, we have some fans who...
Yeah, they'll have...
Here we go.
There. Somebody pushed the wrong button. Listen, to these Delran fans on my left, I'll give them knowledge for acknowledging that the score was wrong and that they know enough about football to acknowledge it, because there's some fan groups in South Jersey that would just let that one roll.
Well, now it's 16-6.
Now it's 16-6. So, ladies and gentlemen, the first ever 13-point touchdown in the history of football. I think that's one of those CFL rules. Now they fixed it. 10-6. They've got a round of applause for fixing the scoreboard. Oh, my goodness. How about that? 10-6 Delran, 55-yard pick 6.
But that response from Marshall Edwards for the Delran defense, that's exactly where you need to start. The first play of the game, as we mentioned, was a 69-yard bomb. It looked like it was blown coverage in the back.
This one's returned at the 10-yard line. BT trying to stay on his feet this time. Zamir Lane rushed out of town around the 25.
Yeah, like I was saying, there's a late flag.
Hold on here.
2 late flags. 3 late. Oh, 2 late flags. It was 2 late flags and a football.
So the remnants of the first half still live on.
Looks like it's against Burlington Township. That's what Delran was signaling.
Well, let's be honest.
see.
What one team signals will always be that the penalty is against the other team. I don't think that there's going to be a lot of self-reporting when it comes to those penalties. Huh.
Looks like it was on Burlington Township.
Not sure what happened there. Because that was, I've got to be honest, I've studied enough of the referee's officials' signals, but they did the delay of game signal unless Delran kicked it off late. And then, yeah, I mean, I don't know. You usually don't get a runner on that. That's odd, but
as I was saying,
it doesn't seem to be having any implications because they're going to start at the 19. I think that's pretty much where they were. Start the drive.
Yeah, that Marshall Edwards interception, that pick 6, is definitely the spark that Delran's defense needed after that shaky start in the first half.
Man in motion, it's Lattimore. Hand off. A big stop. And that will be a loss on the left side. That'll bring him back to the 16-yard line. 2nd and long. How about that? Some more out-of-town scoreboards coming in. Camden leads Rancocas Valley 8-0. Just one score all game late in the 4th quarter. And then let's see what we've got going on here. Looks like Washington Township up 17-0 on Williamstown late in the 2nd. In the Border Bowl, the 15th annual Border Bowl between the Williamstown Braves and the Washington Township Minutemen. McNair in trouble. De Silva was in on him. Now a flag comes in as he gets tackled to the ground. So Finn, and it looks like Marshall Edwards was also in on the tackle. Falcons are going to get called for holding, it looks like. Wait for the official call.
Somebody down, injury timeout.
Yeah, there was an injury timeout for Burlington Township. Don't forget, tomorrow we've got a thriller in South Jersey Group 1. I have to have a voice for Saturday, you know. We have the Glassboro Bulldogs and the Woodbury Thundering Herd on Saturday, September the 27th at 11 a.m. from the Woodbury Bowl. And then on Thursday, October 2nd, we go back down to the WJFL Royal Division for our first game in Week 5 between the Lindenwold Lions and the Pittman Panthers from Davis Field, 7 o'clock kickoff. For next Friday, we've got a couple of changes that went around, but actually, let me make sure I have the right game on my schedule because I got to check this now. One moment, please. Right, so Friday, October 3rd, we've got matchups in the Freedom Division. It's the Triton Mustangs and the Cherry Hill West Lions facing off from Cherry Hill, 6 o'clock kickoff. And then our third of 4 games with Woodbury returns on Saturday, October 4th versus the Gateway Gators in the annual Route 45 rivalry between Gateway and Woodbury. While this injured player for Burlington Township gets attended to, we'll take a quick break. 6:28 left in the 3rd quarter. Bears lead over the Falcons by 4.
Penalty was declined by Delran. We return with 6:20 left in the third. And in motion, sweeping to the right. McNair over to the left side, incomplete. The intended receiver was number 4. That would be Gerald Sackey, the freshman. And now sets up a precarious position for the Falcons, who look like they will bring out their punt crew for the second time today with 6 minutes left in the third quarter. I mean, what a shift in the atmosphere. Delran down 3 points at the half. A little bit of a sour taste in their mouth from whatever extracurriculars happened on the field at the end after Burlington Township's interception from Solomon. And now they come back, get a 60-yard pick six, and now they lead, and with a 4-point lead, they'll get the ball back here. Oh, and there's movement on the right tackle. The punter sent it away anyway, but definitely some movement from the right guard. We have a false start. That'll knock him back 5 more yards, and it'll make Delran's punt return all the more sweeter. Fourth and long. Punting from the goal line. He almost got blocked. That was close. And it will trickle out of bounds at the 35. Great rush there by Jack Jordan to nearly block the kick, to block the punt. The Bears will take over from opposing territory at the 35, looking to go up 2 scores here in the third quarter. And still looking for their first offensive touchdown of the day, because we had a field goal and a pick six. Our second pick six of the week. Delano Mann had one for Bishop Eustis last night in their 28-13 win over Buna, also to stay undefeated. So in all 3 games we have this weekend, we have at least one team who is undefeated. Bishop Eustis on Thursday, both of these teams tonight, and from what I checked, this is the only game in the state of New Jersey between 2 4-0 teams. There's a game over, I believe, in Kinnelon between a team that's 3-0 and a team that's 3-0. But if you want teams that have won 4 games and haven't lost any, this is the only spot for it. Fumble. That one's over, and now here's a roller. It's going to go back to the 40. Here comes the Falcons. They've got a herd of everyone behind them. Let's see where this one goes. Touchdown, Falcons. And the second defensive touchdown of the night. And a heartbreaker puts the Falcons in front in the third. Makai Curry. One play and a bad snap over the head of Saka, and the Falcons lead.
Silence.
That's kind of the best way to describe this moment right now, is that there's a lot of silence in the building.
That just crushes a team when you have all the momentum going and going and going, and then all of a sudden just one bad snap, one bad play. Let's see if Delran can just respond. They had all that momentum. They had the lead. One bad play does not determine you, is what I've learned in my time in any sport. You just got to keep your head up. You got to keep moving.
Still a lot of football left, a quarter and a half to go. Burlington Township, just like on their first touchdown, all the way back with 24 seconds gone in the game. They attempted to. It didn't go. Now the handoff. Binns is in. And Burlington Township in a frenzy across the aisle in the visiting bleachers. They lead this thing by a score of 14-10. 5:48 in the third. We'll have a replay of that, it looks like. Let's take a look here. This was the play just over the head of Saka that time. It looked like he botched it, and then look at that second roll. Curry just picks it up, and he's gone from there. That ball was picked up at the 40. It was a 40-yard fumble recovery to the house. The second defensive touchdown today, one on each side. So I guess it kind of makes them even. But it's 14-10. Falcons lead. What a moment there for Makai Curry, as this game that has been full of drama and full of excitement makes it even closer.
mean, just incredible stuff here. Some final scores from last night. We had a chance to look at them earlier, obviously with us being at Buna last night. That game ended 28-13 in favor of Bishop Eustis. Let's check in here. Northern Burlington beat Cinnaminson 31-14. That was our original game before we flexed it out for Eustis Buna. And then after that, Salem beat Shalleck 26-13. Cumberland shut out Middle Township for their third straight win, 37-0. Cherry Hill East beat ACIT 42-zip. They scored all 42 of those points in the first half. Here's the return. Marshall Edwards has a break, but he's moving a little bit too slow for comfort. And the ball comes out, but the whistles fly. Oh, wow, he just chucked the ball across the field. Now the flag comes in. Yeah, that's a good call. There's got to be some self-awareness there. I mean, the whistles came in. I mean, it's one thing to run the ball into the end zone. You know, sometimes the players do that without consequence. But I don't know if he didn't hear the whistles or what, because he chucked the ball 30 feet in the air, halfway across the field, and just gave Burlington Township a 15-yard penalty. Not exactly something to be proud of at this point in the game. So it'll be an unsportsmanlike conduct call. Delay of game, I guess, on the defense. Yeah, it will be a 5-yard penalty. So that's interesting. I guess you can call it delay of game because he threw the ball away from the officials. That is interesting. I haven't really seen a delay of game called on defense, but it has happened in situations where on a hurry-up offense, the defense just kind of trudges along, doesn't match the tempo of the offense. Saka throws, double coverage. It's caught by Marshall Edwards. First down, he's at the 47. It will be a bit shy, so about 9 yards. Looked close from our angle. No, they will move the chains. Delran first down. Finishing up on out-of-town scoreboards, West Deptford improved to 5-0 with a win over winless Audubon 29-0. Kingsway beat Camden Eastside to improve to 4-1 for their third straight win, 45-6. St. Augustine beat Mainland 17-7. Delsey went back to their winning ways. They're 3-2. They beat they beat Timber Creek 21-6. Saka fires. Pass caught by J.J. Murray, and he'll get wrestled to the ground for about 2 yards. That will bring them to the 50 on forward progress. And it'll be second and mid-range. Finalizing these scores, Paulsboro beat Overbrook 26-16. And that's all we've got for South Jersey action last night. Handful of games being played on the Thursday. Not a lot of them next Thursday, but that's what makes our selection all the more worthwhile. By the way, an update from that Camden RV game. RV did score the touchdown with 2:15 left in the fourth. Unable to convert on a two-point conversion, 8-6 with 2 minutes. Timeout called by Burlington Township. They burn their first of the half, and we will also take a timeout in tow. It's 14-10. Doesn't get much better than this. We'll be right back. So my apologies. It was a timeout called by Delran. It is their first of the half. They trail by 4 points. They're lining it up 2nd and 10 from the 46. Saka dropping back, hit as he throws. Stays on his feet for J.J. Mary, who gets tripped up, and he'll get about 2 yards. Still shy of midfield, but it'll be a 3rd down, a crucial one at that for Delran. 5 minutes left in the 3rd. Just a reminder, Dan Wilkins Broadcasting, LLC is a small business helped out by contributors like you. It's free to watch Dan Wilkins Broadcasting on any platform, but donations and contributions are extremely appreciated in helping us reach our goal of helping out with college funds, increasing equipment expenses, and also travel costs for when we travel to Central, down the shore. Didn't get too far on that one. It'll be 4th down. But if you would like to contribute to Dan Wilkins Broadcasting, we do have a Venmo at DW Broadcasting. No spaces, no hyphens. Of course, not required, but incredibly appreciated. I mean, all of us, all 3 of us working today, we're all college students. We're all looking to advance our careers in broadcasting. I'm a 2nd-year student at Rowan College of South Jersey in Deptford. My producer, Vince, he's a 2nd-year student at Camden County College. My color commentator, Chase Parson, he's a freshman at RCBC right down the road in Mount Laurel. So we're all looking to work. We're all looking to chase the dream. And if you'd like to help us out with that, a contribution is extremely appreciated. Saka punts out to the sideline. It'll go out around the 25 to 30. And Burlington Township looking to now pivot this momentum into their favor. They're up by 4 after the fumble recovery, and now we'll see what they can do, because this game has just been back and forth, but not in the sense of a high scoring back and forth. It's only been that in the sense of we've seen that momentum flip so many times that we have, for what it's worth, a relatively low scoring game.
And with 2 teams that average per game so far in their 4 games, 42 for Burlington Township and 32 points per game for Delran. You wouldn't really expect, looking at the game report early on, that this would only be sitting at 14-10 with 3:44 in the 3rd quarter.
It definitely does put it into perspective how good these 2 teams are coming to head with 4-0 schedules. Handoff, Binns. He will get enough for a 1st down, maybe a gain of 11-ish on the play. He'll get up to the 42. So Binns on the carry. Binns, again, the junior running back, has been a star for Burlington Township this year, even with Bryce Carter out. We did confirm he is out due to an arm injury because of the reporting from Mark Tribble. That is confirmed. We don't know a timetable. We don't know what, but we know that he didn't have a single snap versus Morristown, and I'll give McNair credit. Burlington Township's playing like they haven't lost a step. Burlington Township's playing like nothing ever changed at the quarterback position, because you see so many times in college football, in the NFL, the backup comes in and everything falls apart because they're not used to working together. They don't have the experience in game, but McNair took a 48-point win over Morristown last week, and he absolutely has delivered so far tonight. Huge kudos to the freshman. 2nd and 11. Oh, oh my goodness.
False start, everybody but the center.
Oh, that's another false start. It's 2nd and 16. There was so many movements on the play, it could have been a classical composition. It's going to be 2nd and 16. Could have been box 3rd movement with 3 linemen moving on the left side. They're back to the 38. But those disciplinary mistakes can definitely hurt Burlington Township if they keep doing them, as this one's deep. Incomplete. Down the far sideline, 2 receivers on him, or 2 defensive backs on him. The intended receiver down on the far side. First of all, breaking that pass up was number 21, which was Nicholas Ferreira, who picked up a fumble recovery earlier in the game. 3rd and 16. 2 minutes and 7 seconds left in the third quarter. If you're a small business owner interested in advertising with Dan Wilkins Broadcasting, all the commercials you see on our broadcast today are filmed, edited, recorded, and produced by our wonderful crew at DWB and, of course, our wonderful folks who help us out with graphic design and video editing. If you'd like to become an advertiser or a sponsor of DWB, send an email to thedanwilkinsshow@gmail.com. McNair running out. Ball out! 3rd and 16. Burlington falls on it, but it will be neutral gain for maybe a short loss. Regardless, it will be 4th and long, and that will put Burlington Township in another short drive with another punt on the horizon.
And that's going to be a 4th down for the Falcons.
Micah Davidson still back to receive for the Bears. In a 14-10 game, the Bears had the lead for just a brief amount of time, but you can feel that tension building here in this park. And we've got whistles. It's either, I couldn't tell who jumped. I think it was somebody on the far side. It will be another false start. It's going to be 4th and 21 now because they had 2 false starts on this drive. They had a loss on the rush, and on the 3rd and long play, they had a fumble which knocked them back a yard. So this is going to put them all the way back at the 32. And where Davison's going to catch this ball is just inside the 40. High snap, popped up. This could be a good return. It's going to land on top of the white D logo. Be picked up by Burlington at the 46, and that's where the Bears will take over. 4-point game. What's Delran got to do here? Because they were in the lead. You heard how this crowd reacted to Delran being in the lead. They want to start this year 5-0 because if they go 5-0, they might not lose another game for the regular season. I don't know what's going to happen, but Delran's looking pretty darn good out there, and so is Burlington Township. But what's Delran got to do here?
Yeah, now for the offense of Delran, now this is when you got to start getting aggressive like they were in the first half with the fake plays. They can pull them out if they really want to, if they're feeling brave. But the deep passes like they were showing off in the first half, they need to stop getting comfortable, and now they need to start putting the pressure on this Falcons defense.
Sometimes it's a good thing to be uncomfortable. High snap. Saka under pressure. It is a sliding catch made, kind of making the best out of a bad situation that time as they will lose yards, but it's a better scenario than a sack or an incompletion would have been one thing, but if you don't get it to him, chance could have an intentional grounding. I'm not sure, but Nick Peen was the receiver, and actually they will get this back to the line of scrimmage, so it is a neutral gain, no harm, no foul. If you're just joining us, 14-10 Burlington Township. 2 touchdowns today have been defensive scores. Delran at a 60-yard pick six by Giovanni Marshall-Edwards. And then Burlington Township very quickly followed it up. The clock was running on the scoreboard, and the referees were looking back at the scoreboard. I think they have to figure something out here. Referee's adjusting something with his earpiece. Second and 10. Saka gets the handoff to Marshall Edwards, now on the right side. Edwards will get wrapped up and taken down. So GME picks up a loss of 3. They'll still be short of midfield, and it'll be 3rd and long here. They'll be back at the 43. They're going to run out of time, though. They've got 10 seconds left in the third. They'll let this one run. And at the end of the third quarter, the next 12 minutes will be one where you might want to take this break, get some popcorn out of your pantry, put it in the microwave, and get comfortable. Because these teams aren't comfortable, and as a fan, you should be buckled in. It's 14-10 going to the fourth quarter here on Dan Wilkins Broadcasting from Delran High School. We'll be right back. Fourth quarter ready to go. Joseph Chinichi Stadium. When the sun is out, it's one of the most picturesque stadiums in South Jersey, with a makeshift shed for a press box and a scenic walk across the gravel to get from the parking lot to this park. Saka for the first play of the fourth quarter, breaks through the O-line. It's caught. And a big aggressive tackle that time. They will keep him in bounds. He hurdles over the man who was down. Catch made by Micah Davison. And the Burlington Township player unable to get up that time. They're going to call over to training staff. Looking over him is Kaheem Freeman, the D lineman. So they will attend Burlington Township's trainer coming over. It'll be interesting to see. Well, first of all, they have to kind of get everybody moved around because Delran's sideline is kind of hugging that player's space. .11:41 left. They're going to pull Freeman off. And that player, Lane, did get up and will walk off the field under his own power. (14-10). I mean, this game has been so topsy-turvy. I thought with that first play, the 69-yard touchdown pass by Eddie McNair, I thought maybe we would see a high-scoring affair, but then we didn't see any scoring in the second quarter. It's been so interesting to see how this game has transformed over the night. I mean, it's 8-17. It's been a long game. We started it at 6. Oh! Burlington Township hugged the line, and it'll be a false start on Delran. I mean, that's exactly what BT wanted to do there, and they had that trickery to perfection. They had the linebacker come in and occupy one of those gaps, and that forced Delran to get a little bit shaky, get a little bit uncomfortable, and it only takes a little bit of a movement. So even though we saw more physical movement on the BT side, the only movement that matters is one that breaks the line of scrimmage, and that's exactly what we saw. So 5-yard penalty now brings out Saka and the punt crew. High snap. Saka, good punt this time. This one will be returned by the Falcons. Getting some room. And he will get up to the 45, and a great return that time. I believe that was number 1, Aaron Smith, who had the return. And again, these drives, that we come into them with so much hype, with so much excitement and expectation, and then they just flame out. And that's been the biggest problem for both of these teams. Neither of them have really been able to get ahead. It's taken big explosive plays to get anybody ahead. Delran took the lead on a pick 6. Burlington Township got it back on a fumble. There hasn't really been any monotonous drives or any drives that have been well executed enough to score, because the one that Burlington Township had, the only offensive score of the game, was a 69-yard touchdown on the first play. So you can't really call that much of a drive. It's just a get up and go. Handoff to Binns for a gain of 3. Forward progress. They'll tackle him. Might be 2 yards up to the 47. So 1 yard on the play. Now Burlington Township, they have to try. I mean, when we talk about this, this kind of environment and what this means to have Burlington Township in front on the road, looking to go 5-0. For both teams, this has been their toughest game yet. Burlington Township's only allowed 29 points this year, and they've scored 40+ in all of them. Here comes Ribbs. Gets some spins up the way to the 35. Delran able to stop it at the last line of defense, but a huge gain for the Falcons. They get a first down, and they get it all the way up to the 33.
Aiden Binns, he has been the spear through this defense of the Bears. Almost, it feels like every carry that he's had, he's gained a decent amount of yards. There's been a couple for losses, but the standout is going to be Aiden Binns if this game ends with Burlington Township on top.
I mean, you were able to just see it from what we saw last week versus Morristown. And this is a big sack, or a big tackle for loss. Another one for the Bears this time from number 55, Sam DeSilva, the senior. It's going to be a loss of 5. No, it's going to be a loss of 6. They're going to be up at the 39. So that is a loss of 6. And now Burlington Township has to be thinking clock management. When it comes to high school football, when there's no 2-minute timeout, when there's no mandated, break or whatever, the entire fourth quarter is a monotonous clock management crusade. And if you're Burlington Township, you want to take as much time off the clock as possible and also try to get into the end zone to try to put this game away. And Binns able to get up to the 33. So basically back to where he started, but it takes a shot out of their book, because now it's 3rd and 10. So 3rd and 9. They actually did gain 1 yard on the last play. So it's 3rd and 9 from the 32. 8 minutes left and counting in the fourth quarter. Delran loves the cowbell. They love being loud. They love being passionate. That's what I love about coming here. 3rd and 9. The freshman, Eddie McNair, under the bright lights and facing the noise. Fires a pass, complete. Tried to stay on his feet. He'll get up to around the 24.
It's going to be Gerald Sackey, the freshman, the key player that I pointed out in the pregame. He's definitely been a key aspect in the throwing game for McNair.
A freshman to freshman tango. Sackey with 337 receiving yards going into tonight. Also having a kickoff return touchdown versus Haddon Heights 2 weeks ago. And 9 touchdowns already for Sackey.
That's incredible. 9 touchdowns in 4 games as a freshman.
Yeah, they've got the trust in him. 2 versus PCTI, 3 versus Nottingham, 2 versus Haddon Heights, and 2 versus Morristown. Burlington Township calls a timeout. That will be their second of the half, as I can't tell based off the chants. We heard the fight song. I don't know if we're at Florida State or Kansas City or Atlanta. We'll take a quick break. 6:52 in the fourth quarter, 14-10.
Crowd getting loud. So are we. Under 7 minutes left in the fourth quarter. It's 4th and 2. Delran student section on their feet. Snap to Binns. He's in trouble. He will barrel through. I think that's enough. He's going to get up to the, I think he's going to get up to the 20. He'll get a gain of 5 yards. First down, Falcons. And again, that's another gut punch. It just feels like Delran has had these drives where they've kept themselves in the game. Then something goes wrong. Something goes awry. And now Burlington Township is quite literally on the border of the red zone. They are on the 20-yard line, maybe an inch or two behind it. And even on a first and fresh new set of downs, Burlington Township still hearing the noise from the Delran student section to our right. And the parents joining them from the 20. High snap, hand off to Binns, up the middle. And he'll get 1. Those stops are going to be crucial because if McNair has another unsuccessful run to Binns, I feel like he's got to pass it because you have to be thinking now or never, because what happens if Delran gets the ball, if you don't score, and you make this a Delran ball game? This game is not going anywhere. This is still anybody's game. Even with Burlington Township driving, I would argue even if they score, I would say this game's not over because there have been so many blink and you'll miss it moments like the pick six and the fumble scoop and score that have really defined this game. It's been a funky Friday night here in Delran. Line drive pass, caught, right side, heading towards the sideline, diving forward as great catch that time by Julian Lattimore, the sophomore, on the slant route to the right. And now another gut punch against the Delran defense and another success for the Falcons offense. They put themselves inside the 10-yard line. Looks like they gained 10 on the play, and they're now setting themselves up for 1st and 10 from the 5. Rather, 1st and goal from the 5. So they got 15 yards on that last play to Lattimore. Binns wrapped up. Jack Jordan came in that time.
Now if you're Burlington Township in this position with the 4-point lead and with 4:30 to go in the fourth, you got to just, your mind has to go to time management. You have the lead. Now you have the field position. Whether you score or not, you leave the Bears in a great position. Or not in a great position. You leave the Bears in a horrible position. You leave the defense in a great position.
Yeah, I mean, even if you fumble the snap right now and turn the ball over, you still have 4 minutes left. That's not a lot of time to go 90 yards. Stephen Everett, one of the few football head coaches to still do things the old way with a suit and tie. It's caught, left side, breaking through, and he's in the end zone. Touchdown, Falcons.
Julian Lattimore. Excuse me, that's Gerald Sackey.
Gerald Sackey with his 10th receiving touchdown of the year. He has been a workhorse, and the freshman-to-freshman combination, McNair and Sackey, a name that Burlington Township fans will want to remember because that is his 10th receiving score in just 5 games. And the Falcons have now made this a 2-possession, 10-point game here with 4 minutes left in the fourth quarter. And the band plays on over in the opposing scoreboard, or in the opposing bleachers. And for the 3rd time tonight, Falcons will attempt a 2-pointer. Haven't attempted a single PAT all night. They're 1 for 2. It's going to be trouble. Right side. Did he bring that in? Is it a catch? It is good. 2-point conversion made out on the far sideline by Max Barrios. And it's 22-10. 12-point game with 4 minutes left. And what has been a nail-biter all night finally finds its first sense of offensive direction and its first sense of a true leader with a 2-possession game. And this was Delran's only regular season loss last year. They went 7-1 in the regular season. They had the same start
They were 4-0, lost to Burlington Township 31-10, and then beat Heightstown, Penns Grove, Haddon Heights, and Morristown to end the year. And obviously, with this being year 2 of the 2-year WJFL divisional cycle, those opponents do remain the same, pretty much unchanged for the rest of the season. With Delran loss, if it holds, they would fall to 4-1, and then Burlington Township would be 5-0. And yes, the schedule is the exact same with the opponents flipped, or with the home and road flipped. Away at Heightstown next week, home versus Penns Grove on Friday the 10th, and then away versus Haddon Heights and Morristown for the last 2 weeks of the regular season. Short kick to the 20. Marshall Edwards on the return, and this will get wrapped up around the 30, and Delran will have about 3.5 minutes to figure out a way to make this game theirs again. It's 22-10. This crowd had so much life, and that's what I give Delran credit for. This is a passionate town. It's not a town that I usually visit often because it's not on the way for anything I do. But we come out here because of how passionate this crowd is. And you can hear Burlington Township on the far side. They're ramping up their sideline. The cheerleaders supporting, the band supporting, many of their fans on their feet. We don't talk a lot about visiting crowds because they're so far away from us, and we are literally surrounded by Delran faithful tonight with our no press box access. Saka hit as he throws, and it's picked off on a can of corn. That could do it. Second interception by Vinny Saka. Late flag comes in. And now there's they're bumping chests. And that was going to do it if it hasn't ended it already. Number 6, Evan Rogers on the interception. They're running this one all the way back to the sideline. There is a flag on the play, but because it was late, it looked like it was after the interception. Man, it will be a heartbreaker for Delran, but they just, again, these offensive drives, they have so much support. I mean, in that first drive alone, they had a fake punt and a flea flicker almost back-to-back. The interception will stand, but they will back them up back to the 44 on the flag. Looked like it was a block in the back was the call. Burlington Township will get back on the field with 3:32 left as some of the Delran faithful starting to file out here. If the Falcons improve to 5-0, they'll have 3 of their next 4 games on the road. Burlington City on the 3rd, Hopewell Valley on the 11th. Timeout called, I believe, by Delran that time. They are home to Northern Burlington on the 18th. How about that for Burlington Township to have your first 4 weeks of the year all at home? Must be lucky. But we'll see the Falcons next on Thursday, October 23rd versus Cinnaminson. And for Delran, again, we will see them on Saturday, October the 18th at Haddon Heights. That'll be the next time we'll see the Bears in football action. I think we'll see them again for boys soccer sometime down the road with Tommy Orr. Just make a left out of the football complex and we'll be right there at the Den. But we will have to see when that next commitment is. 3:32 left. We'll stay here. Don't forget, we do have a Venmo if you'd like to contribute to Dan Wilkins Broadcasting at DW Broadcasting. No spaces, no hyphens. Of course, not at all required, but we do all of this for free. The schools don't pay for this. Our advertisers do, and it's always great to get any opportunities possible from anybody who'd like to contribute. And I will say, you won't hear me plug the Venmo if it's a paid broadcast because that's not my job. If I'm already getting paid, I don't need to milk more money out of you people. It's already a wicked world we live in, and if you'd like to contribute, it's incredibly appreciated. That's in the description of our video. DW Broadcasting handoff, Binns. I would love to see what his stats are at the end of the night because very good candidate for a player of the game, if not for Eddie McNair, because it has been a great night for him in what looks like it is poised to be a 22-10 final. Still got 3 minutes left, so it's not over by any means, but Burlington Township really just needs a couple of first downs to put this game in their history books. But like we said, with Northern Burlington being 3-1, one of the things we talked about was the WJFL Independence Division and how this game could very well have decided the division. Northern Burlington's 4-1, and they'll now be tied. But the thing is that Delran will have the tiebreaker because they beat Northern Burlington last week 31-0. Whistles on the snap. And a flag down.
Looks like it was going to be a delay of game. I saw the referee to the left count down. It looks like he just couldn't get the snap off in time.
False start is what the call
false start.
Be.
Nope, never mind.
Still counts the same. 5-yard penalty. That'll be second and long. The rest of the division, again, it's BT at 4-0. They'll be 5-0 after tonight. Delran 4-1. Northern Burlington 4-1. Their one loss to Delran. And then Cinnaminson 2-3. Haddon Heights 0-4, and so is Morristown 0-4. So we'll see a handful of those teams for the rest of the way. Again, our next broadcast will be Saturday, tomorrow morning, bright and early, 11 a.m. 22-10 the score. We've got Glassboro and Woodbury, the Group 1 state champions, facing off tomorrow morning. Timeout. Burlington Township calls it. We'll take a quick break. 2:06 left in the ball game. Falcons up by 12. Second and 15. It was a false start and then a timeout. Burlington Township used their last. McNair in the shotgun as he has been all night. Delran trying to jump the line. Good snap read. They're going to try to pass. Oh, my goodness. Trampolines all over. So La Silva picks up the sack, and now Delran calls a timeout with 1:57 left. So as it stands, again, Burlington Township, a great night for them. 22-10. And under 2 minutes remaining. But this has been a long game. I mean, 6 o'clock kickoff. We're right now at 8:38. Last night's broadcast was only 2:16 in terms of game time. The longest we had this year was, looks like it was Highland Pennsauken, 2 hours and 35 minutes. So this will be the longest football game of the year for DWB, and there hasn't even been any cramps tonight. Not a single cramp. They're way back there. Third and long. Pass caught, and he will get shoved out of bounds. Marshall Edwards picked up the tackle that time. Clock will run because they did say on forward progress that he was kept in bounds. And it's now 4th and about 20. They'll bring the punt crew out, but they can still waste about 30 seconds to give Delran the least amount of time possible to get back in this thing. Davison, the punt returner. Minute 12, minute 10 now. As a game that didn't really have a lot of direction until the final moments. Looked like that this could have been anybody's game. And it ends up falling in the favor of the Falcons, who won't have a long trip home, but they certainly will have an exciting trip home, as the clock will stop with 54 seconds left, and Burlington Township does call their last timeout, so we must have had some kind of discrepancy up there. One more quick break, under a minute to play. 22-10 Falcons. (22-10). We'll talk about this a little bit more in the postgame, but I'll tell you, I mean, this first half and this second half feel like completely different worlds, because we had scuffles on the field at the end of the first half, and now it feels like this game has just been slowly shutting down to a whimper. Punt almost got blocked that time. Friendly fire for Delran. It'll go out of bounds around the 30, and they'll have 48 seconds to get something going and to maybe salvage a little bit of points on the board. Looks like both teams are out of their timeouts, and Vinny Sacca will have one last stand to prevent Delran from going 4-1. But again, this was the exact same thing that happened last year for Delran. They were 4-0 to start the year. They lost to Burlington Township, albeit Burlington Township put up 9 more points last year. It was 31-10, the final. But then they cruised out. They were 7-1 in the regular season, beat Delaware Valley 42-7, and then lost 56-28 to Rumson. And Rumson Fairhaven's going to be great. They have a Division I quarterback, or they had a Division I quarterback in Owen O'Toole. So there's not a lot of winning combinations with those. But for Colin Huco, I mean, this was a good game for Delran. They just couldn't get their feet off the ground often enough for it to be worth it. Up the middle. Surprised they're not trying to hug the sidelines there, unless they're kind of conceding at this point. They get 3 yards at 2nd and 7. They are at the 37 rather. I mean, they're not in any hurry, although Sacca's running back out to the huddle. Again, Colin Huco in his 3rd year as a head coach. I'll just say before we go, the first game I was here was 57-19 Willingboro. The crowd that we see in front of us now, that was as crowded as it got all night. Tonight we saw a packed Friday night house, media galore on all sides, and we saw a respectable ball game. As he throws it over to middle, he'll get taken to the ground, and that's the ball game. So the pass completed, and Burlington Township comes on the road and replicates what they did last year, except in this case, the driver's seat is in their hands, and the Independence Division just got a lot tighter. Burlington Township wins it 22-10. They are 5-0, and the Falcons and the Bears duel in a fantastic Friday night showdown that shows the Falcons winning this one by 12. Just great stuff from Burlington Township. I mean, we saw sparks fly. We saw hands to the face. We saw a lot of personal fouls in the first half, but it seemed like everybody was a little bit more disciplined in the second half, and we saw some good football. 2 defensive scores in the second half. Pick 6 by Delran, fumble recovery by Burlington Township. And then after all of that, it turned out it was, kind of all meant to be for one point or another. We'll wait for some folks to pass through, and then we'll hop down for our post-game report. Appreciate it, guys. We hope to be back in Delran at some point as they fall to 4-1.
Do you date Olivia Jones?
I do.
Okay. Our daughter's Ava Favieri. You look familiar, and when he said your name, I was like, wait a minute, did you do not Dream Big? Yes, I thought so. How are you? Good to see you too.
I'm live right now. It's great seeing you guys.
Oh,
got some fans here.
Yeah.
I'm known around these parts. Here we
Well,
go.
are they a fan of you or are they a fan of your girlfriend?
Everybody's a fan of me and a fan of my girlfriend. Shout out Olivia Jones and the Jones family. Everybody's a fan.
Of course. Man, 22-10 the final for Burlington Township over Delran tonight. 5-0 start for the Falcons. Again, this was the exact same way that Delran had their regular season last year, but this one just hurts a little bit more if you're the Bears because of everything that this meant to the team and the fact that they had such a good start going into this. They had a lead in the third quarter, unable to get it done, and Burlington Township with, I believe it was because they were up 10-6. That meant it was, just about 16 unanswered points to get them from losing by 4 in the third quarter to winning by 12 at the end of the day.
For Delran, offensively, it's going to have a bitter taste in the mouths of all the offense. The quarterback, Vinny Sacca, he had everything going, and then all of a sudden just a crumple. And then in the second half, it all kind of just fell apart. The defense had both the defense had the scores. Offensively, nothing could really click for Delran. It was just going to be very frustrating to watch this game back for Sacca. Couldn't get anything clicking in the second half, and they're going to have to review some of this film.
Well, I thought we would be talking about discipline a lot more in the postgame because of how chippy and bitter the first half was, but it actually calmed down significantly in the second half. I felt like we saw a more complete football game in the second half, and I can admire that. I think that is something that they are going to look back on, and they are going to say that this was a very good improvement in the second half. Delran got this crowd on their feet, but they didn't have any offensive touchdowns. They found themselves in a position where they had the lead with the pick six, and then just Burlington Township took advantage of everything they could get, everything they could grab, and that's what they could find. But my player of the game, Eddie McNair, for multiple reasons. Eddie McNair had a fantastic game from the shotgun, 69 yards on the first play of the game to the house on the far sideline, 25 seconds in. But I'll also say, coming in his second varsity start, taking over for an arm-injured Bryce Carter, the junior, he comes in after throwing 150 yards versus Morristown and blows the roof off this place, and he was just fantastic. For a freshman, he saw a lot of young guys downfield, and this is going to be a Burlington Township team that is very exciting to watch in the years to come.
It's going to be very interesting to see as the season goes on, and hopefully that other quarterback, Bryce, hopefully he gets better.
Yeah, I don't know what his timetable is, but
timetable is going to be interesting, but definitely they have a second leader, and that second leader is Eddie McNair. The freshman, it's hard to think that he's a freshman.
And he hit a couple of freshmen as well in receiving cores as well. Just a great night for Burlington Township all around. That'll be all for us tonight on Dan Wilkins Broadcasting. From our social media coordinator, Haley Mejia, our graphics crew, Gavin Van Rel, Caleb Lane, and Carson Rosso, my producer, Vincent Vogt, my color commentator, Chase Parson, I'm Dan Wilkins. We will see you tomorrow morning, 11 a.m. sharp, from Woodbury High School versus the Glassboro Bulldogs. 22-10, the final in favor of the Falcons. Have a good one, folks.